you enter a trade is the most crucial part to making money. Guys, it's actually a lot simpler than what we think. I know many are struggling out there when it comes to FOMOing into trades and getting feared completely out when the markets are dumping. I'm here to simplify that for you. If you can remove your emotions, and you can have a system to follow of when to buy and sell tokens, you're going to become confident. When you become confident, you're not going to be scared to react anymore. You're going to understand both scenarios that are at play, and you're going to actually know that this is a game. You don't need to win every time, but the ones that you win are going to be way larger than the ones that you actually lose. In this video, I'm going to give you all the simple tools that you can use that can finally get you on the winning streak when it comes to entering trades. I'm going to give you an actual checklist. Whenever you want to enter a trade again, whenever you want to buy an investment, you must have at least 3 of these boxes ticked in order to take it. If it's not, you're not allowed to take it. This actual system is going to be designed to protect you. It's going to be designed in a way that if you don't have much time in your life, or you're sitting there and you don't know what to do, you can put on a few tools and indicators and it will tell you exactly what to do. It's all about simplifying the whole process and building a system that is built for you. So guys, the first thing I want to speak about is the effort into one trade. This is a big thing, okay? Many times I thought the more that I trade, the more money I'm going to make. The problem is on that journey, I went from $400 to $40,000, back to $400, back to $40,000, just too many times. I actually threw up multiple times because I lost all of my money. I slept on my laptop all the time. I had no more friends anymore. I wasn't going out. I wasn't going to the gym. I wasn't eating well. It was just this complete mess where I allowed this crypto to completely swallow me up. Because I thought the more time I spend, the more money I'm going to make. It's a lie, okay? You just get more tired, okay? And you make more mistakes. So the importance of understanding that trading less and putting more time into your actual trades is how you're going to get a high probability of winning. Plus, you're going to have more energy. Plus, you're going to be able to sleep. Plus, you're going to be able to go on the dates and not have to worry about getting liquidated, okay? These are the important things to understand, that crypto has come into your life not to take over your life, to become a part of your life, to become a part of your daily routine, and you're able to actually mold this into your specific structure. So the more effort you put into it, by actually laddering in as an example, instead of going all into trades, you can put in 10, 20%, you can add more once you know it's winning. Therefore, if it goes wrong, you're only losing on a very small amount of your money. And if it goes correct, you can always add on to the entry that you got in earlier. So by actually putting more effort into it, you allow yourself a lot less risk to the downside, you lose a lot less, and you also have time to build in on the upside to add to your winners. And they always say, add to your winners and cut your losses. That's exactly what it is. So I want you to change your mind as this video goes now, that it's not about the more times you trade that's going to make you successful. It's about putting in more effort. Now, in order to do so, you need to actually understand yourself. Me personally, as Sheldon, I like lines. I did technical drawing in school. I kind of see 45s and 60 degrees. So for me, a trend line attached to me very well. Then there's other things like moving averages, which didn't attach to me too well. Okay, in the beginning, it was great to learn, but it wasn't something that was super powerful to me. However, it is very powerful to a lot of people. And that's the thing. What do you resonate with more? What do you understand more? Then you've got things like RSIs, and you've got things like Fibonacci's, and you've got things like horizontals. You need to look at these now. You need to start understanding what they each do, and you need to understand what do you resonate with the best. Now, the first thing I want to show you guys over here is I want to jump to a chart, and I want to show you a few things. I want to show you how multiple things will give you the same indication, okay? So the first major rule in crypto is you want to be buying on the right emotions. So I've spoken about this many times. If you want to be making money, you need to be buying those who are getting feared out. So you need to see that aggression in the chart. You need to see a fast pullback, and you need to see people panicking out, fear, anger on the news, the world's going to end. These are perfect times to get ready as a trader, okay? Because people are fearing out, therefore they're willing to sell their tokens, therefore you are able to buy them, okay? Not only able to buy them easily, you can buy them at a great discount too. So the emotions is a big thing of understanding when you want to enter trades. You want to enter in the right emotional phase. When you want to exit trades is when the whole world's saying, Bitcoin to the moon, baby, everything's going, I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich. That's when you start going and looking to start ladder out. So that's one of the big things. Then the next thing you got to understand is looking at the actual chart, there's multiple things that can help you. So the first thing I want to show you guys is something called support and resistance. All of these different time frames at the top show you different data. And I want to show you how it works on any of the data that you're looking at. Okay, so this specific one I'm showing you is a weekly chart. What does that mean? It means that if I'm buying on this specific time frame, I'm looking to hold it for a minimum of 3 months. That's what I'm looking for. That's the data I'm looking for. Therefore, you can then go watch one of my other videos, which is this one over here, that shows you the purpose behind what you can put to this time frame. Like if you want to buy a car or something like that, these are the type of time frames you'll be using, but nonetheless they all print the same thing. So what this support and resistance basically means, it basically means that if the market was moving in a certain direction like this, the previous levels that was a high and we broke that high, this was first known as resistance. I like to call a resistance a rooftop, okay, and then I like to call support a floor. So what that basically means is if you had a previous level that we finally broke through, it means you're breaking through resistance. It means it's now starting to project through that and you're going to actually put in a higher high, okay? Then what happens is once you break that, you will actually turn that previous resistance into support. And what support means is basically it's had a pullback, it broke through a level and it's coming back to test the previous high over here. This is known as a very good area to be buying. It's basically allowing it to explode first, come back, show that it's confirmed breakout, holding a certain level. That's where you want to buy. Why? Because you're buying red, you're buying fear, you're buying the right emotions too. So support and resistance is just this good way to understand when there's going to be selling pressure and when there's going to be buying pressure. So what I use here is the example of closing candles. So if you look at this over on the left over here, you could see that right where we are bouncing at the moment, you could see that there is actual horizontal support. And look how price stops and stays in this area. Okay, now if it holds this area, this is where it's going to bounce. Nonetheless, this box showed me the perfect support over here and gave me a certain area of where to be buying. Now let me show you another example on the left of this. If you go look at the previous high over here and you draw a block, you draw it across, do you see how when we broke through it, look how we came perfectly into that block and took off again. And then later on, look how we took past this high and then came perfectly back into the box. So this is one of the tools. It's called support and resistance. What do? You take the previous closing candles, you put a bunch of blocks, and you'll see where it's lining up to where you are now. And it's the same with resistance. The previous highs, things like that. That's the first one. The next one that I want to show you guys as well is a Fibonacci. Now, Fibonacci, I want to keep it simple, okay? I don't want you to complicate it. But what it is on the left bar over here, you got this thing with the 4 lines. And what this does is it generates these numbers, right? These magical numbers is what I call them. I don't know 100% how they're calculated, but it's very accurate, okay? And I want to show you that if you see that something is moving in a certain direction, if I look at this entire wave right now, and I see that this thing looks like this, right? That was the strong push. Now I see it's pulling back. If it holds at least 60 to 70% of the current push to the upside over here, it's known as being healthy and bullish, where you should actually buy. So it teaches you should be buying 60% discount of what it previously did in the last run. Okay, you know when you look at a product last week and it was this much, now you see it's 50% off, that's time to buy it, right? That's the great way to buy it. And it's known as the healthy pullback over here. So what that basically means is if we're going in this direction here, I want to take a Fibonacci from here to the top to give me a bunch of lines. And these lines, the main one that I want you to focus on is 618. So if I draw this up, look exactly where we are right now, 618. Okay, so this is the big number over here. If you guys are seeing a whole bunch of lines, I just want to show you here, you can remove them. You can go click all these boxes here and you can just leave the 618. Nonetheless, look how the 618 lines up exactly where the horizontal lined up, right? Now let's show you another tool. Another tool that you could use as well is something like a stochastic RSI. And you could see this over here perfectly. Okay, so if you look at this, every time that this was sitting in this bottom zone over here was actually great times to be buying. Okay, and this as an investor is a super powerful tool. As long as you're buying in these areas here and you're selling when we get to the top, you're going to be a very profitable trader, especially when it comes to altcoins. But this also indicates that right now we're at the bottom. Get ready for a buy. Now, let me show you a few other indicators. Let's use 200-day moving average. This thing would have actually told you to buy many months ago. Look at what would have happened if you bought. If you bought in that area over there to where it broke, you would have made 300% to where you would have sold. And this indicator, the way it works, is you're buying when it breaks through to the top and you're selling when it breaks through to the bottom side. That's it. But look how powerful that is. As an investor, this is something that can work for you, incredibly strong. And then what you have is another moving average. Let's say a 20 weekly moving average, same thing. This one would have actually got you in a little bit earlier, okay, and would have got you out of these areas. Then let's look at a few other examples. Other examples are trend lines. Let me pop in a trend over here. That was the time to buy. Let me pop in another trend over here. That was the time to buy, okay? And in a few weeks' time, if we look at this trend over here, guess where the time will be to buy? When it breaks that trend. So what I've basically shown you, I've shown you 6 tools that work. Okay, now you need to see which ones resonate with you. So the way I do it is I call it a 4-step check system. Okay, it's a 3 or 4 step. The minimum is 3 of them must tick the box. But what you want to do is you want to put all of these indicators, 6 of them, of your favorite ones. And if 3 to 4 of them are actually ticking the box, you can take the trade. Now, what's amazing about these indicators is it's actually uncomplicating things. Because if you as a trader, you've got to think of a few things. If I buy this now and it goes down, what's my risk? If I get it right, what's my reward? Is there enough risk to reward? You know, is it worth me taking the trade? Because remember, if you're going to buy something that can drop 50% and it can go up 50%, you're a gambler. Right? That's red or black. You might as well go to the casino and have a drink. It's fun. It's a good night out, right? But if you want to become a profitable trader, you must be buying something that will only drop 10% but go up 80%. Which means if you get 3 or 4 of the trades wrong, but 1 correct, you're in the money. It's not about being the perfect trader. It's not about trading super accurate. You can get 3 out of 10 trades correct and be a very, very, very good trader. And that's what it's about. So if you have all of this in your brain, you're going to confuse yourself. Where the indicator, as in an RSI or something, already shows you that the market's pulled back. It already has fear in it. You are buying at an area now where the risk is a lot lower than what it was. So it automatically works that out for you. When you are buying a moving average that is breaking a long period, this thing is showing that on average, we've been going down for a long period of time and something is finally changing. Catch it early. That's what it's showing you. Same with horizontal, showing you that this was previously a level we couldn't get through before. Now we're turning it into a floor. Bullish. So these things are all calculating them for you. Now, let me zoom in here and show you guys how this basically works. So I use something where I put them together, and my favorite ones are stochastic RSI, a trend line, Fibonacci, and a horizontal support. If 4 of these things are indicating I can take the trade, I'm happy. So the first thing I want to show you here is we need to understand with a fib, you need to understand the wave that you're looking at. If I look at this right now, I can see that this is 1, 2 legs. Okay, I can see it very clearly, which means if I'm interested in buying this area right over here, and I've now shifted to a 4-hour chart showing me data for the next couple of days, I'm then only focused on this piece over here. Not in the past, not anything there. I'm focused on this piece when it comes to specifically buying. Then what I do is I take my Fibonacci from the bottom to the top, and there we can see that we bounced on the 618. First check. The next thing is on the left over here. You can see that there's a horizontal, the support that I was speaking about. Where did we bounce? Exactly on that block. Next thing, where was my RSI? Exactly at the bottom. That's 3 things that was indicating when price was there, that was the time to buy. What was the last one for me? Is a trend line. If I go in over here and I pop in a trend line, just to show you guys. So what I do is I do zoom in for the trend line, 1 time frame, just so that I can draw the trend line good. But here we go. There's the trend line over there. So what I would have done is I would have entered 20 to 30% of the trade in that green box. When we broke the trend, I would have entered in the rest, and I could put my stop loss below this period over here. So just by me knowing these indicators, what did it do automatically in my brain? It made me buy red. It made me buy when the market was oversold in a certain period. It made me buy when people were fearful at that time. And it was buying at the point where it's the least risk. Because I knew that if I bought at this area in the green box, I put a stop loss just below it. And if we drop from there, we're dropping way further down. So the whole point of this thing is for you guys to create a checklist. I want you to go today, and if you're learning all of these phenomenal tools, all of these things, that's great, okay? But I need you to put it into a checklist. I need you to now understand that you want to become a robot, and you want to have a system built behind you. Okay, no more sitting and thinking and figuring out. No, the best way to do well is to take a system and to use that system at all points. Doesn't matter if you're happy in life, sad in life, cross with life, doesn't matter. You're following something that is built for you. So once you got that system over there and 4 of them are ticking out, you're allowed to take the trade. Now the next thing you need to do is you need to do this for your different portfolios. So if you're an investor, you need to find out what are my 3 things that I'm going to use to buy and sell my investment before you take the investment. Don't do it. Like, why do you want to figure it out later? Stop using your money as a gamble place where you want to learn with all of your money. This is a place for you to put in a bit, understand the game, and then put the real money in. So have a 3-step buying and selling system when you want to invest in a token. The same thing when it comes to if you want to day trade. Have 3 to 4 things indicating when to buy and when to actually sell. Again, it can be moving averages, many different tools that you're doing. So I want you to actually take your portfolio, and I want to remind you again that you're splitting your money up if you are, and you have purpose behind it, but build yourself a powerful system. And what's also amazing about that is you can attach a time frame. I want to remind you guys again about the time frame. If you look at the time frames over here, it's all the same coin and chart, but different data points. You want to see what it's going to do the next 48 hours? Look at this time frame. The next, if you want to see what it does the next 5 days, look at this time frame. The next 8 days, don't look at the wrong data. What's amazing about this too is you can actually build your 4-step systems for each of these. So at any moment in your life, you want to become a day trader, you know your 4-step system. Anytime you want to become an investor or invest in a token, you're not going to ask Sheldon, should I buy and sell? What is your checklist telling you to do? So guys, your homework today is to actually give yourself a foundation. I want you to build a system. I want you to build something that makes sense and that you understand. Fibonacci's work for me. They may not work for you, but that does not give you an excuse not to have a 4-step system. This is where it's for you to build yourself as a robot, and I promise you this is going to help remove emotions from your trading, and it's actually going to fill you up with a lot more confidence. And one more thing, add a trading journal to it too. If you are marking where you're buying and selling and you can see that you're making a few mistakes, your trading journal will tell you, hey, maybe don't use this indicator. It's not working so well for you. Maybe shift it. It will help you slowly tweak your system to becoming a great trader. So guys, you can see all the tools that I've put in here for you. I've showed you all of them, and if you want to study them even further and understand exactly what each of them do, we have Sniper School. It's a free school for you. If you go below in the description, click on this link over here, and then you'll just fill out a basic registration form. You'll open up a free exchange account, and you'll get into the school. In the school, you will see that we have individual stochastic RSI videos. We have moving average videos. We have MACD videos. We have Fibonacci videos. Everything is there below as well. The main thing here, guys, is I want you to start today. If you've been shortcutting actual education, don't do it anymore. It's time for you to actually understand that you are in charge of your own finances. You're the boss, baby. You've been promoted, which means you need more knowledge and you need to know how to trade. So here's the school below. It will teach you everything you need to know. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I'll see you all on the next show. Much love.